Hello everyone, welcome back to Podcast On Wheelz, episode number 87. As we said in today's episode, please sit back and enjoy the show. So, we've been gone for a minute, I believe. I think we missed last week, when we were initially supposed to upload that week.
No, we just do this every 2 weeks.
For some reason, it felt longer than 2 weeks, so if we are late, we do apologize. But we do have a few topics for you all today. A handful. So the first one being asthma appointment and how it went.
Okay, so I gave updates in the weekly vlogs before this, but basically we had an appointment about our asthma of 5 years of experiencing symptoms since exercise and daily symptoms. It's been, in April, it'll be 5 years of experiencing these nasty, ungrueling, burdening symptoms of asthma. And I always just wrote it out, we kind of just bring it up to them and yeah, it's a cold weather and exercise is my main trigger. Running, strolling my power chair, cold air, and chemicals like cleaning supplies that gets me into coughing fits and attacks and stuff like that. So it's, and sicknesses is just, it doesn't lead me into an attack, but it has led to health issues for sure, especially the more recent ones. And it's just been an awful time, especially 2025 and now. It's worse than it's ever been. I had a horrible attack in April. I should have got hospitalized for that, but I was too stubborn, and I was like, this is normal, and I realized that was a severe attack, a really severe one, and I could have gotten a respiratory failure because of that, but I didn't. Thankfully, my body somewhat recovered. It took 3 days, 2 days to recover from constant phlegm and flaring for days after. So it would have just been safer for me in the end to even go to the hospital because I could have got treatment much earlier. But, of course, I still regret that decision entirely throughout my life. And then, since then, I had 3 more mild attacks coming on, and I had infections left and right since September. I had about 3 infections, like colds, another cold, the flu that I had recently last month. It's just been an awful time with infections and sicknesses and asthma attacks and daily symptoms on top of that. So every day I notice asthma in the background. It's not gone. In fact, it's getting worse. Mm-hmm. And we had addressed our concerns before in these podcasts. We're like, oh yeah, we should, get this. So in June of 2025, about 8 months ago, we had an appointment about our anxiety and some of our asthma. Mainly it was anxiety because, Donnie's wife, Sydney, was having some ALS symptoms, but thankfully it was just her really severe anxiety, but we're happy it was nothing more. But we just had to get a peace of mind because that was terrifying. It happened for 2 months straight. And we just felt run down, lethargic, and not ourselves for 2 months straight. And it wasn't a fun time either. We were literally physically looking sick, exhausted. And we got that checked out, got some blood tests. Thankfully, our tests came back normal. And I addressed, hey, I had asthma for 5 years. I get attacks and stuff like that. And basically, pretty much all they said to me was, okay, we're going to order you an albuterol inhaler, which is a rescue inhaler, and if it works, you have asthma. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. It worked like a dream.
What's the next step?
What's the next step? Do I visit a pulmonologist? Should I get on steroids? How bad is the severity? Is there damage? Is there permanent damage? Is there damage I can reverse now instead of later? Like, what's happening? And I was like, oh, okay, alright. Yeah, we'll order you that. Alright. It was 2 weeks delayed because our dad was hesitant to buy it. He's like, oh yeah, this could maybe help. I'm like, let's just buy this just in case. I mean, I'm sure it will work. And the moment we done an exercise test with therapies and stuff, we took in 2 puffs inhaled, and it was fun to learn all about it. And it worked. I done a form of exercise on my therapy bikes and electrostimulation and stuff like that helps me move my body.
That would typically get his lungs going.
For 5 whole minutes, with only being short of breath and no wheezing. 5 minutes. Unfortunately, it worked really well, and that indicates that I have maybe some form of asthma, but unfortunately it's been getting less effective these last couple months because more damage is happening. And I was like, okay, it was not helping. Nowhere nearly at all during a cold. That cold had inflamed my body so much to the point albuterol was not kicking in. Within minutes, it wasn't working, and it would wear off quickly.
Like he would take the inhaler, and by the time it was supposed to kick in, it would have worn off.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Like, by the time it would maybe work 15-20 minutes and gone. So...
And it's supposed to naturally work about 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah, it's supposed to naturally work, but it did help, and it does still help.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that's not my treatment.
No.
My symptoms are daily. That's leaning moderate minimum.
And I have an albuterol inhaler, but I don't take it that often because I only have cystic fibrosis. I don't have asthma.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty bad at taking my rescue inhaler. Ever since, June, since I got it, I'm supposed to use it when I'm having more than my regular baseline symptoms. But sometimes during flare days and stuff like that, which I've had multiple days worth.
Last week.
Yeah. It just, I don't get around to taking it because people with my level of asthma or severity would just
this
chill.
Is fine. This is
fine. This is my normal. I'll just get through this one rough day. No. Every day of yours is baseline rough.
Honey, you could go from fine to respiratory arrest or respiratory failure within minutes. And you felt fine. No, I just had a little cough. No. I assure you it's not like that.
But
it's bad.
The rescue inhaler does help. It's getting less and less effective, but it still does help. It kicks in. But a cold, it almost does nothing.
Yeah.
The phlegm, it's bad. The phlegm is horrible, and sicknesses are horrible. And that was pretty much that appointment. They just said, oh yeah, it's this rescue inhaler works. You have asthma. Mm-hmm. They didn't tell me, oh yeah, come back. If it works,
Are you going to talk about your new one?
Yeah.
Is it later on or in the same topic?
It's in the same topic. I'm just reviewing the first appointment because technically it wasn't my first full asthma appointment. It was literally almost nothing, but
it was like you mentioned it, and they maybe got a tiny action plan ready for you, or one.
Not even an action plan. It's just if this works, use it.
You have it.
What? But what severity? What are my triggers? What's the asthma action plan?
But that was I did it. That was the first starting point, and you had kind of briefly mentioned it. You never really went into the symptoms. I think personally, what they did was, right.
Oh, I was just saying, I have 5 years of uncontrolled asthma. I never had.
Well, they don't know your symptoms yet, but with our other primary care physician, the one that knows us best, the one that knows our medical history and can't just get it from...
I wasn't mad.
Yeah, and the one that can't get it from a simple conversation, she can look at years of medical history and see the complications that you may or may not have reported or charted, and hear those complications with a stethoscope and every other tool that she has to manage. And she did touch that, and you got further in your step plan. She recommended an action plan. So I think that's how that went.
Yep, and so the first appointment went pretty decent. Got my inhaler eventually, and it worked. I was happy. I was glad I had some sort of medication to help me on my flare days. But then I realized months later, this isn't enough. By the time I take it every 4 to 6 hours, it wears off, and symptoms start coming back again. So for me to feel healthy for one day, I would be overdosing on the inhaler, taking multiple puffs. That's a signal. It's
horribly uncontrolled.
Horribly at that level, not the level of unmedicated I had before. So I bring it up, and I was like, I'm getting worried about this. I've been getting infections, and I've been getting horrible attacks and vomiting, almost vomiting blood, and it's horrible. And we got me to my primary care doctor, who knows me best, who has my medical history since pre-me birth, for multiple decades now. And we got in with her. I got my weight checked, and
we will talk about that later.
Yep, I got my weight checked, got my blood pressure checked, got my oxygen checked, got my temp checked. All of that categories were good. And then I was sitting in there, I explained my symptoms, we ordered a lung function test, and I had done the lung function test.
Spirometer, I think.
Yeah, I had to blow out birthday candles and blow out. It was a blowing out test. So I did that, failed. My blowing out was not nearly even half the time. And it was not even reaching the monitor part, the peak level where it's supposed to even get an accurate reading. It wasn't going there. And the birthday candles were barely blowing out. And so I failed at those, so I had to do a breathing treatment in the office, just a regular albuterol through a nebulizer. And I did that, and the lung function test did improve. Not much, but it did improve. It did improve, which is a good sign that some of the damage is reversible, I think. So some medication is reaching somewhere in my lungs, which is a good sign, because if it can't...
and it's able to access those points, I'm assuming, in his lungs, because if he had too much damage and irreversible damage, not really...
Medication wouldn't reach your lung?
No, I don't think
not much. Not enough to improve it, but thankfully we still saw some improvements, thank God, even after 5 years. And I still felt miserably on the lung test, and I had to go back, and lung tests were kind of inconclusive, bad, they were really low, and they're like, yeah, maybe you didn't understand how to do it, or you really just could not do it. And I was like, oh yeah, I couldn't breathe out long enough, I was trying my hardest. Oh, okay. And yeah, it definitely looks like that I have small bronchial tube lung damage. Yeah, they're definitely not working like they're supposed to. And there's damage in the small bronchial tubes. We don't know how much damage, we don't know if it's reversible or permanent, but we realize there are damage in the deep lower lungs, which is
a sign of asthma.
Yeah, sign of asthma. So
because it doesn't affect the upper airway.
It's definitely permanent. I have some form of asthma by now, or another lung condition, something. But pretty much from the whole appointment, I failed the lung function test miserably, and I have lower lung bronchial tube damage, and they wanted me to get on a steroid medication, and they done that. Like, yeah, we're going to order in a steroid medication, see you back on March 16th, and see if either your lung function test improve. I don't know if they're going to retest. Probably not. I could be wrong, though. And they'll probably send me off to a pulmonologist, a more way specialized specialist, to get more invasive lung tests. And then I have to get on a steroid for a month to see if my symptoms improve, if my daily baseline symptoms, if exercise tolerance improves. If it does, we'll keep me on the dose, but if it doesn't get rid of everything, we'll probably upgrade the dose, or we'll just go visit a pulmonologist. But I don't know that information until March 16th, which obviously I will be giving you updates, because I love giving updates to my friends and myself. So overall, it was a pretty decent appointment.
It went pretty
Bad
well.
news, good news, and good news, my lungs are responding to medication. Bad news,
or can respond,
sort of. And the bad news is that my lung function already showed bad results on the results. But then again, most tests were inconclusive. It was a tiny test, so hopefully on the bigger test, it doesn't show that.
No.
I'm hoping. Because if it still shows the red alarming,
not good.
How bad is it? But that's something we have to figure out over the next couple months, because I'm sure there's going to be many more appointments this year.
Yeah, the second topic is grieving tough loss. And what we mean by this is essentially that William's husband and Sydney's husband, Donnie, passed away on February 11th. On February 11th. So that was basically his 2-year anniversary of having ALS. And his body...
Oh, no, not his 2-year.
No, his 20 month.
Yeah.
God. Never mind. Oh, Jesus. So
yes.
That was his 20-month anniversary of having ALS. So it wasn't even 2 years in before the cruel, stupid disease ALS took him. He passed on February 11th at 2 a.m. And we got to celebrate with him before he passed by hanging out, playing games, watching his favorite movies, doing a bunch of stuff before he passed, which I think that's what he would have wanted.
Oh yeah, he was happy. He was comfortable.
He was very happy and comfortable, which I'm very grateful for.
I'm very glad.
Yeah, and so he went at 2 a.m., but the day previously, February 10th, we, sang to him, we hanged out, we, held hands, we done a bunch of other stuff, and I think that was the best way to let him go.
Yeah, because his main thing
he values comfort and peace and family, and giving all that to him right before he goes, and before
but weeks prior.
Yeah, I think that was the best way for him, and the reason why he didn't live as long as we might is because, number one, this disease is 100% fatal, whether you go after 14 years, whether you go after 15 months. It'll kill you regardless.
It will catch up.
Because intervention is only getting so strong, but once a disease takes course, and if you're not prepared, it can take you quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already have a trach and a ventilator, and the mechanical ventilator is what's really keeping me and William going still. We're able to live
That's how we're alive.
Yeah, that's how we're alive. We're able to outlive this, some of the years that we progressively have. Right now, we are not even 2 years in, both of us, all of us. We weren't even 2 years in.
Nope, none of us are. Even Doc.
Yeah, no. Even the one who got diagnosed first, hi. So, essentially, Donnie did pass away, but we are embracing it with positivity more than trying
it's been
to.
Hard.
It has been very hard. It's been very rough at moments. Got emotional several times.
Oh, several.
Several.
Way too many times.
Yeah. Donnie was a great person, a great husband to William, a great husband to wife, a great friend, a great person. He was so...
A wonderful father.
He was so selfless.
He was awesome.
He was selfless, he was loyal, he was honest, and he was a very good friend.
He was a wonderful man.
Yeah, he was. And he just done that. He
just done that willingly.
Yeah. He was very kind to everyone. And even to the point that back then on old podcasts and other things, I would be very annoying and interrupt people and not give them the chance to speak. And even then, he took that and embraced it with positivity. John was a very naturally positive person. No matter what he was really going through, he was
pretty positive.
Yeah, he was going to do it with a positive attitude. And that is now how we're trying to embrace it. Like, we are trying to think of all the good. Like, he wanted to pass away. And he
wanted us to be happy.
And not because of the fact that he wasn't happy to be around us, but of the fact that the cruel disease and its nature automatically makes you in pain and can't breathe and, like, basically life support and paralyzed. And it was at that point he couldn't speak, he couldn't walk, he couldn't eat, he couldn't almost breathe.
He could hardly blink.
So he was almost he almost developed totally locked in syndrome, meaning
at the very end he was.
Yeah,
he wasn't blinking, he wasn't moving his eyes.
Can't move your eyes, you can't twitch your face, you can't and no offense, for a lot of people, that is not a life they want to live.
No.
Because you can't say I love you. You can't be proud you can be proud of your children, but you can never verbalize it or
even show it in a face.
Or even show it in a facial movement. And that's okay. That's okay that he wanted to pass. Everyone's experience is valid
understand.
And understood by the ALS community, because we know how shitty this disease is and how awful it is to take away people so early and to make them want to do that so early on, because their quality of life is detrimented due to this disease.
And it was so quickly, so quickly. He just became totally locked in, had no speech, couldn't really communicate with us, and in his words, he just didn't want to live that life.
Yeah, no.
He wanted to live comfortably in heaven, and that's completely understandable. We
valued that.
We valued his wish.
We gave him the choice. He's a grown adult. He's the one fighting the disease, and we've been verbal enough, and we created a will, and we created what we wanted to do. Like, if I can't do this, just take off the life support.
Yeah,
which would be our ventilator and feeding tube or something like that, or a diaphragmatic pacemaker, one of the three. So yeah, like I want to keep going with this to raise awareness and to show everyone what it's like to live with ALS personally. So I'll keep going until my very final breath. I will. I want to do that. I want to live through Donnie and what he done for
this community and what he done for our family and our friends and everyone else. I want to live through that. And I've recently been finding myself a lot more positive.
Oh, yeah.
After Donnie passed.
A weird reason. Not a bad.
I used to get...
You're
good.
Before he passed away, he wanted us to be happy after he passed away because, in his words, I'm still looking down on from heaven and I'm seeing your accomplishments every single day and I want to be proud of you and I still am proud of you. And he wants us to be happy and positive and, just see the good in things and maybe not be as annoyed as we typically are. And we've been a lot more positive, not because... I guess he's just helping us.
Channeling, like ever since he passed, I really think that it's been like Donnie channeling through us, in a different way. Because back then, when minor inconvenience happened, we wouldn't really be positive, and unfortunately, we would get mad a lot. But ever since his passing, we've just been very normally upbeat.
Upbeat? I wouldn't say that. What?
No, not like
upbeat.
We're not happy he passed.
No.
But we are happy he went that way and didn't have something catastrophic happen to him. Like, we were happy that he left so peacefully and he was around us and we gave him the comfort and support he needed to go. And ever since, I think he's been not giving us his light into us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's giving us positivity.
We've been more positive, we've been more upbeat, we've been
happy.
We've been feeling like him.
Like him,
I guess.
yeah.
That's the only way I can really put it. And like a few days ago, I saw like a nut on the ground, like from a squirrel. And in my old ALS post that I posted in May this year, or, this year I posted it, and I was like, oh yeah.
In May?
No, not in May. I messed up. But it was May when I took that photo, and I, not of the nut, but of the peanut, where I just took a photo of me. And it was like around my 1 year anniversary, and I said, like, the nuts that have fallen on the ground and the squirrels are eating it. I randomly found that on the ground, and I took a picture of it, and I found a bird right there. And I said that Donnie would be represented by the small thoughts that we usually take for granted. And some of the small thoughts I had done was the birds chirping in the morning and a peanut or a nut falling on the ground. So a squirrel would be nibbling at it. I found a casing of a peanut on the floor and a bird right almost next to it in a tree. What? And that was like days after he passed.
No, that wasn't that long after.
And when we tried a yummy coffee that Donnie loves, he loves coffee, we felt a breeze in the wind. Mm-hmm. And that would be our way of Donnie saying, I'm here in the moment. I'm right here. And so...
And that was right after
it was so strong.
I was like, whoa.
And I was like,
I was like blowing my hair. And I was like, what?
It's just been wild. Like, knowing all the ways that we've said that he'll be represented and how we know that he's still here is all those signs happened, which is wild. Like,
wild to say the least.
And we're very grateful that we have ways of knowing he's still there and still in the moment
with us.
But it's just weird.
It's weird for sure.
It's not weird in the aspect of that's like, why do you do that? No, it's not weird in that way.
No,
it's just weird how every single sign that we kind of didn't pick up on previously because we were kind of oblivious to it, we now focus so hard on because we know someone's up there to give us those signs.
To give us the signs that they're still
like
here.
If there was a strong wind, damn it just blowed my hair. And now, wow.
Well, that's Donnie.
Hi, that's Donnie. You like that coffee? That's
he
so
loves
weird
his
to
coffee.
Me. He loves his coffee. He loves his coffee.
That's like Grandma. She loved her coffee.
And then in our fridge,
a little bit more than Donnie.
Yeah. And then in our fridge, there was just so much coffee that randomly
appeared. I'm like, what the? We're not coffee drinkers. I mean,
in this family,
I like coffee, but I don't drink coffee on the daily, and we don't really have much coffee in our house. And then all of a sudden, Starbucks coffee and like this huge mocha thing comes up, popping up in our fridge. I'm like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. And it's spawning in overnight from a grocery. I'm like, when the hell do we ever order coffee?
So it's been
like Donnie.
Yeah,
he's been sending us signs.
Mm-hmm. So it's been very tough, but we have been trying to face through it through positivity, and we miss him, and we'll miss him very dearly.
Oh my God, forever.
But we're trying to get through it, and we're thinking positively on this. Like we're trying to be not positive about his death. Essentially, like we're not happy he went, but we're happy the way he went.
We're happy that he's in a much comfortable life. He has no more medical equipment on him, no more wheelchairs. He's walking, he's running, he's talking to his grandma, grandpa, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people, and he's living his life he hasn't been able to in almost a decade.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he passed away comfortably and peacefully, and he's still with us, still here, and we get signs from him every single day. And sometimes on cue. I'm like, oh, that's that's crazy.
It's like the minute we took that sip. Wind.
Like, whoa.
So,
that's so cool.
Yeah. Speaking of this awful disease.
And we had a wonderful day yesterday.
Yeah. Excuse me. And Donnie really loved cheesecake, and we had cheesecake.
Yeah, what the hell?
Like, he loved cheesecake.
I love cheesecake, and he loved cheesecake.
What?
And we had a yummy cheesecake.
It was so
good. That cheesecake thing was so big.
It was a chocolate chip cookie cheesecake. And we got banana pudding.
She was not wrong about it being super good.
We got also banana pudding, and I love banana pudding.
It was
I love the texture of bananas. I love the taste of bananas.
It was so soft. Something I could finally eat, sorta.
So, yeah. Speaking of this terrible disease once more, our ALS progression as of currently. So I feel like we haven't given an update ALS progression, like our stats, our numbers, our breathing, everything, kind of like in a while. It's really felt like that, but I could be wrong. So if you want to tell your progression first and where you were in the beginning and kind of what you were doing, the symptoms, if you remember.
So I started experiencing symptoms right after my spinal cord injury, March of 2024, sorry. I experienced symptoms for about 5 or 6 months of slurred speech, and if you go back on those videos, just go around that date, and you can hear my speech slurring actively before medication or before controlled or before any proper adjustments to my wheelchairs of strength. And my body strength was going down, and my lung function was going down. And essentially by August 9th of 2024, I got diagnosed with ALS. My lung function was 30%, my whole body was 23% to 22%, my head was 15%, my arms were, I think, either 8% or 10%, but I'm assuming my body strength was 22 to 23%. My core and legs were nothing because of my spinal cord injury, and I think there was nothing else to calculate except head, which was 10, and my arms were 8, I think. I don't know. My body strength was under 30% because that was originally my quadriplegic body strength 2 years ago. So I know it was under 30%. It had to be in the 20s. I know it was in the 20s.
It couldn't have been any lower,
no.
Really.
And I had to get a tracheostomy replaced because my lungs were not entering into respiratory failure, but it was damaged enough and weak enough that I needed a proper airway support in case an emergency did happen, and just to have it generally placed in there to advance my care. And then since then, I've been losing function throughout August to February of 2025. My arms, my biceps, and my triceps were already gone, but my biceps and shoulders were going away slowly, and my hand function, my tenodesis was still there, but by February of 2025, which was over a year ago, 13 months ago, I could only lift my arms halfway, so my elbow, pretty much like I was lifting my arm in my lap to my elbow, like kind of halfway, if that makes sense, and I couldn't shrug my shoulders or anything like that. I could just only lift half my arms and do tenodesis, so that was my function in my arms 13 months ago, and ever since then, it just kept increasingly going down and down and down and down. January of 2025 as well, I got a permanent ventilator on my lungs because my lungs officially reached 25% lung function. That's really, really weak, really low. Could go into respiratory failure. It was low, to say the least. So I had to go on a permanent ventilator on January 2nd to get used to the functions and stuff like that before I lost my breathing to 25% on January 9th. And then, pretty much since then, my body has been giving up on me really, really fast. My arms, month by month, were losing more than half the function. Like, instead of lifting all the way half, it would maybe be only half of the half or something like that.
It's like if he was able to lift his arm, like his bicep or his hand might be able to touch his bicep.
Something like that.
Like the front, I don't know how to explain it. Like he wouldn't be able to move his arm or do tenodesis or anything. He would just be able to lift it, and his arm would kind of be able to like.
Oh no, I could do tenodesis.
Oh, you could. Very good. But
and then
it got almost half of that movement. So like being able to fully lift your arm off like 6 inches, like 3. So every few months.
Yeah, every few months
it'll get lower by a few inches.
The movement would get lower by an inch, and it kept going lower.
Few months inch.
And then by July of 2025, I only had tenodesis left, in about an inch. So think about my arm being on my armrest, and I lift it. I could only lift my wrist of tenodesis, and I could only lift about an inch. So my arm movement was so low, to the point I looked fully paralyzed from the neck down. And
which is
pretty much
not his injury level.
My manual chair, I had buttons on it put on now, so instead of moving the wheels, I couldn't properly. I had to lower the wheels so low, and jolt my arm movement to move the chair before. And oftentimes I was in my power chair a lot because of that. And then I got buttons added to my manual chair.
Kind of right where his arms were.
Kind of right where my arms were, so I could move my chair back and forth to the side, reverse it, stuff like that, so I could still be in my nice manual chair.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, of course, a headrest and higher backrest, chest straps, and a ventilator on at this point. August of 2025, I got my feeding tube placed, or late July, I got my feeding tube placed. It's just a peg tube because my eating was going lower to only about a couple bites of food per meal. So obviously I wasn't getting enough calories, and unfortunately, that topic's coming soon, but I'll address more of that topic soon. And then I needed a feeding tube. My eating was really bad, and then it kept going. I get fed breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I have little bites of snackies and drinks throughout the day. I can still drink orally, thankfully, pretty well. I have choked. I have, aspirated. I have had my fair share of uncomfortableness, but I can drink pretty well, carefully. I can't really eat well. I can only take minimal bites, and my jaw gets severely tired, and my speech gets really worse when trying to eat because I can't obviously eat with my mouth
open.
Because
we don't have enough strength with anything in our mouth to actually speak.
Really, yes, and I just.
Otherwise, just.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my eating was getting worse, so pretty much less than 2 years of ALS. My 18th month, or almost 20th month of something. I'm getting close to my 20th month, I think. Or no, am I not even there yet? It's
18th.
I think it's my 18th month with ALS, and throughout the 18 months, I've lost the function to do catheters on my own, minimally since February of 2025. That's been gone. I have lost the function to use my manual chair. I can still sit in it and be comfortable and have my chest strap on and my arms just kind of propped on my wheels and dangling and some shit and chest straps and all this fun stuff. But I mainly sit in my power chair most of the time. I don't have any pressure switches on my computer or gameplays anymore because I can't use my hands anymore, but until I got introduced to maybe sip and puff like qualities or eye gaze, stuff like that, on my computer as well. So I've just been getting the sip and puff on and off use for my computer daily since September of 2025. And then I got it on my chair permanently to drive because my arms were 0.5, couldn't drive joysticks anymore. My body strength was only 0.5 in November, and in December I fully lost it completely. I haven't been having my body strength for about 2 months now. So I'm completely paralyzed from the neck down, like a C1 quadriplegic, even though I'm not.
He was C4 incomplete?
Yes, and then I just have full-time ventilation support for 13 months now. Been having a sip and puff for 3 months now, permanently on my wheelchair. Been having pressure light switches, buttons on my chairs, on my computers, on everyday devices since July, so 7 months now. So I've been having a lot of my medical equipment for a little bit now, and just in the past 18 months I've lost the function to transfer halfway, to lift my head, to lift my hands, to use my arms, to weight shift. I can still weight shift in my chair. I have to suck on myself and lean back, and that's pretty much it. But my whole daily care is run by nurses and Donnie's wife and my friend Sydney, and aka Sydney is Donnie's wife and she's my friend, so in case if y'all got confused about that, I know I worded that wrong. And I have chest straps and ventilators and Hoyer lifts, feeding tubes, blends, switches, and like pressure switches. Back then, now that medical equipment just is stuck in my house because I don't use it. Excuse me. But they can help my son Ethan, who can't really coordinate his fingies that well. He's he can, but it's just sometimes harder for him, which I don't blame him. Just my whole life is just ran with daily neck holders to keep my head in place because my head function's gone. Hello? Okay. Microphone thing he was being dumb again. But it pauses like that in the middle so randomly. That's one con I don't like about this way or setup, but it helps. Anyway, what I was saying is I just use a lot of medical equipment. Chest straps, ventilators, trach, neck holder, headrest, pressure switches, eye gaze, glasses to help use my phone and computer. I just use a lot. In quadriplegic wise, I use a lot of medications, and ALS did not make that better. No. But I just have a lot of stuff, and that's my ALS progression. Now, on today's date, on my 18th month, I have 0% body, haven't had any body strength since December, and my lung function is 12%, so it's going into respiratory lung failure. Yeah! I mean, I'm not going to die. I'm just saying it looks... God. My lung function is so bad, it looks like someone with respiratory failure. Or before that.
Yeah. So, for my progression, my symptoms started in around September of 2023. So, it's almost been 3 years since then. And I think I was 45% or 40% lung function, maybe 4.5 arms or 4 minimum. And my legs, my core were 0, and my head was 10. So, I think. I fully remember that. So, my body was resting.
Your head was 10?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, my body was resting around 14% around September.
Whoa.
And my speech was still pretty good, but I was getting weaker, and I, in fact, didn't know why. I thought it was my spinal muscular atrophy that I have. So I thought that was the issue, and that was the reason. Until around, I think, by me and my wife's wedding, November 24th, 2023, about 2 to 1 month into the symptoms, I think I was now in the 30s or 20s of breathing.
Something like that, yeah.
I think. I wasn't good. I had a BiPAP because my breathing was so bad, it was getting bad. And from that point on, I don't even really remember what my arms were. I can't tell you.
4.5
or something. I don't know.
Sorta.
I think I said that. But I don't know what it was by November. I think by January of 2024, a few months before I got diagnosed, I was like now in the 20s. I fully believe I was in the 20s now. There's no way I wasn't. And I think around April, literally a few months before I got diagnosed, or 1 month, I was now 19% breathing. So I went from 45 in September to 19 in April.
I went down 30 something, 35,
and
30.
So when I was diagnosed, I was now 10. No. So I went 35% lung function down. September, October, November, December, January, February, March.
Me too,
April, May, in 8 months.
In 6 months? 5 months?
Yeah, so around 8 months. But it was like very... I have to say, for those first 3 or 2 months, I was very good. Like, I was noticing weakness, but it was not degenerating.
No, it wasn't.
It was like, 45.
Okay.
In August or very early September. Oh, by September, you 40. Oh.
Mm.
Where'd that come? Okay.
Okay.
That's so weird.
Did I get an illness? What happened?
And I think by December, I was now only 35.
Something like that.
I lost 10% of breathing from September, October, November, in 3 months, I think. And then in the rest 5 or 6 months, December, January, February, March, April, May, 5 months, I had lost from 35 to 10. I lost 25 more breathing in about 5 months. And only 10 in the last 3.
Yeah, it ramped up.
So it ramped up quickly. And my arms, basically, I think they were 4 or 4.5. Kind of hard to tell because I don't have a lot of hand function. It's it really is determined by my thumb because I've never had tenodesis in like 5 years. Almost 4 years minimum. No, I
had full hand function 2 years ago. What?
So, for me personally, I haven't had tenodesis and no arm function. I couldn't lift any parts of my arms for like almost half a decade. This year. But when I was having symptoms only 2 years, I wasn't able to have normal tenodesis or anything because I have a spinal cord injuries. So by the time I was diagnosed, I was 10% breathing and 5% head and 3.5 arms. So my body strength was 8.5 in May of 2024. And my speech was still pretty good. I mean, I know it did sound very slurred because I wasn't used to my speech. I never knew what it was like to have that weak in speech. And then after I got on meds on June 8th of 2024, my speech kind of ramped up from there and thankfully has been pretty good. And I still have it. But I do notice the degeneration in my speech and the way I stutter and the way I speak and the way I can hold the stamina of my speech.
Stamina is mainly effective for me.
And I don't have asthma. I've never had asthma in my life, and if I do, it's very
it's an intermediate exercise induced or something.
So
lowest level of asthma.
Yes.
The Minnesota British are intermediate.
So, for me, in May of 2024, I was 3.5 arms, 5% head, and 10 breathing. By December, I was only 21 days when I got my permanent ventilator on December 8th. I was only 21 days before I got to 9 breathing. And the reason why you're thinking, why would you need a ventilator if you're on 9 breathing? Well, fucking hear the breathing.
Hear the breathing.
It's terrible.
I have a ventilator still.
And I technically should have gotten a ventilator way before I was diagnosed because I was already on a kind of semi-permanent ventilator on my trach and on my face, a BiPAP. I was on that for a minute. I was on that BiPAP for I think a month or a few times. I don't know.
Segmented.
I had to wear it for a while. And then I got on my nighttime ventilator device on September. So I was getting already permanent ventilation every single night.
Let alone every day.
From September to April. And then I thought, okay, I'm good. Like, I can finally get off of it. Then I lost 9 in 1 month. Oh,
nope.
Or 10. I don't know. I think I lost 9 in 1 month. And so in May, I got diagnosed. And we got me on the meds, and we got me controlled to the point that I didn't need, like, a ventilator. Still needed my trach and everything. Still needed a BiPAP every night. But then my permanent ventilator that was going to use in the morning, in the afternoon, and night, so daily, 24/7 ventilator care and support, December 8th. I got that, so I think I was not even 7 months in.
7 months in, something like
I wasn't even 7 months in. I was 21 days away from my 7th month. So...
It's so dark outside.
So I was 21 days away from my 7th month.
Oh.
What?
It looks horrible outside.
Okay. So
it's like dark and shit.
So it was 21 days. It was 21 days initially from my 7th month. So I was hardly 6 months in, if you really think about it, when I got my ventilator. But when I hit 9 breathing, it was December 27th of 2024. So I had my ventilator at that time for like my permanent one for 21 days. Now I've been having it for over 200, over 300 now. And I think, I don't even remember what I was in 2025, but I do know some standpoints. Of June 2025, which was, I was a year, maybe 13, 12 months in, I had to get my PEG. And I've always had a feeding tube, I've always had a gastrostomy feeding tube, but the reason why I put a specific date to it, January 20th, is because we knew that PEG was going to be permanent and used for most, if not all, of my meals. What's the matter? What's the matter?
Wind's kicking up.
It is.
The fuck? What's the weather look like? Cause it's dark. Look outside.
Let me see.
Look how dark it is. It's moving the skeleton outside.
Oh, damn.
I told you.
It's probably just
It's
probably just a bad rainstorm hitting.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
I haven't seen this kind of darkening in a while.
Yeah, so...
Sorry, y'all.
You're good. So, initially, the reason why I put a date on that PEG, even though I have a gastrostomy tube, I put a date on it to know that was the date I would kind of need it permanently. For almost every snack, for almost every meal. I can eat somewhat orally. I can still somewhat eat orally, but very small bites now. Very, very, very small.
Very, very small.
But it was just a date that I knew that became permanent and was now permanently part of my life. Instead of every few meals, it was going to be for something I had to use in order to survive. August of 2025 became that threshold where I lost all my head strength. I was 0 head at this point. Can't remember what arms I was. I think I was around 1 point something or 2 maximum. I don't remember being over 2. Probably even lower than 2. So I had a permanent head strap now. Still have one. Don't wear it all the time, but if permanent head strap, meaning every single time I want to move my chair, I have to put it on, because my head
I have a neck strap instead of a head strap because it ruins my curly hair.
Yeah, because my head was just 0, and it's been 0 for August, September, October, November, December, January, February, 6 months now, almost 6 months. So February 27th.
3.
Yeah, February 27th, I'll be 0 head for half a year. But the only reason why I'm not totally locked in now is because of my arms, and my speech. My arms technically meaning an ounce of my thumb. So
that's my speech.
Yeah. So the reason why I guess I'm better than William in progression wise. Somewhat. I think we're steadily on the same area. But
by not a far margin.
Not a far margin, not really.
Nope.
But the reason why my body strength is still counting is because I have bulbar and my limbs are just kind of sticking with me every month.
My limbs are gone.
But they're going to be gone fully in 14 months. Which is wild. I thought I just had 35.
What the hell?
So that kind of gives you maybe a clue. So, February of 2026, my current progression in this month, what's supposedly going to be on the 27th, I'll tell you my progression now and what's supposed to be in February. We are in February.
But we're not the 27th.
As of January progression, I was 1.5 arms, 0 head, and 6 breathing. January is the month that I hit 6 breathing, I believe. So I am almost 1 month already into my 6th breathing, which is wild. So yeah, that is primarily my progression. And then in February of this year, the month now, but it's going to be the 27th when it goes to that, my arms are going to be 1.4. And that is wild for me to even say, because a long time ago, 3 years ago, I was 14.5 or 14.
In your arms?
No, body.
Oh, I said, what the fuck?
I have 14 arms.
My arms don't even, my arms are 10.
No, I had that 7 years ago.
In my spinal cord injury. Damn.
I have 15 to 14 arms around like 7 years ago.
Boy, I had it 2 years ago. Like the full thing.
But for me, my body was 14.5 or 14 around 3 years ago. Not even, it's like hardly 2. In September it was 2. So, it's hardly been 2 years. But this year it's hitting 3 of my symptom onset, which is in September of 2023. I was around like 4.5 arms or 4 arms I was 10 head, and I was 45 or 40 breathing. And by May of my diagnosis, I had went down either 0.5 arms or 1 arm. I had gone down over 30 breathing, and I was 10% breathing, and my head was now 5. Thankfully, that only lost 5% straight, but only in a few months, in only 8 months. That was never normal for me, and I knew there was immediately a problem.
Something else alongside with asthma.
Yeah, something else that was taking my head strength that quick, because I had maintained that 5-something head for so many years.
For like at least 2 years minimum, I would assume.
Yeah, because of my spinal cord injury, it just caused my neck muscles to be a lot weaker. And so I was 5% head, 10, naturally. My bad, 10.
My bad, twin, 10.
So I held that 10 head, which basically means if your head falls back or forward, you can't get it up, but you can turn fully side to side. How weird would it be for me to turn my head
I can't
to
do
the
that.
side? I haven't done that.
I haven't done that in months.
I haven't naturally done that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't naturally been able to kind of do that.
13 months?
Yeah, I haven't been able to whip my head around.
Nope.
For like, what, 20 months? 20-something months?
13 for me.
Because personally for me, when I was diagnosed, I was 5 head, so I was very weak, and like I could still kind of turn my head. It's not like I was stiff. But it did
mean I've got
that. But it did mean that I could no longer move my head, which is weird for me to know that I could just be able to flip my head around. But as of August, I have never been able to do that, and like previously many months before August, it became very weak and very bad. But since August, almost half a year now, over 5 months minimum, I haven't been able to move my head, and basically I have to have people help me move my head every single time.
So it doesn't get stiff and stuck?
Don't want my head to be contracted now.
And my head is just... my neck is stiff. Like it can't... I can't move it myself, so...
His head resting on his neck is stiff, and he can't turn it. There we go, I think.
That doesn't sound any better.
He's inappropriate. So, basically, for my progression, I'll dial it down a little bit. Basically, in September of 2023, I was 10 head, 4.5 arms, and 45 or 40 breathing. And then, over not even 3 years later, I am now resting at 1.4 arms, going to be resting at 1.4 arms, 0 head since August, and my speech is going to take a toll. It's been taking a toll these last few months. Basically, doctors are going to suggest that I'm going to be very illegible by April. So in 2 months now, not even, I have less than hardly 2 months of my speech left, and then that'll be gone. Not fully, but it'll be very hard to understand me, and it's just going to be very exhausting for me to speak, so I have to use a AAC device or a talking device so I can be able to speak with everyone with my voice. Mm-hmm. So, essentially, my doctor said that is going to be the progression. I don't think I can avoid this one. They've given me 3 progression points now. They gave me December of 2024. I totally passed that. They gave me January of 2026, and I passed that. And now they're giving me April. I don't think I can pass this 3rd one. There's no way. I will technically have speech left, but it'll be super illegible, and no one can understand me. And that's when they want me to start using my talking device permanently. And so that way, it'd be just very exhausting for me to speak. I don't want to use my energy all day just to say a sentence. So they're going to put me on the talking device, and I'm just going to have to use my speech that way. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very big adjustment for me, because clearly I love speaking.
I love speaking, my favorite thing to do.
Yep.
My only thing I can do.
And for me right now, my percentage strength, I think, is only 1.4. My arms determine it. I have nothing else besides my thumb and my speech. I have 0 head. I can't eat on my own, hardly.
Nope.
I can hardly drink orally without the risk of choking. I've choked drastically before.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only move my thumb and that's it.
That's it.
I haven't been able to move my full arms in 5 years. I haven't been able to move my neck or head in 6 months. I haven't been able to breathe without life support for over 20 months something because of the BiPAP and other extensive measures.
It's just been a long journey.
That is my progression. I'm currently 1.4 body strength. My joystick at 6 p.m. is 1.1. My speech is almost gone. I have 0 head, and that's my progression. Me and William combined are 1.4 because he has no but strength, and I only have 1.4. I only have 14 more months of my arms, and less than 2 months of my speech, and then I'm locked in. And that's it. Which is wild. What's really keeping me from being such in a bad naturally, even with my progression, I'm in a bad state because
it's really bad.
After April 1st, I can't be able to speak, and the only thing left would be my thumb, which doesn't really. It does give me a lot. It does. I can drive my chair, and I also want to say that I'll be starting to use a permanent sip and puff around 0.7 or 0.8 because specifically around 6 p.m. we get a lot weaker and our arms kind of go down.
Or we just feel more lethargic and tired.
Way more lethargic and tired, so we need that super buff to be able to speak and do everything else. So basically for me, that super buff is going to be vital for me at 0.8 because at 6 p.m. I'll be 0.5, I believe, which is the maximum my joystick, the littlest and maximum kind of that my joystick can go. So being able to have that, sip and puff there is very beneficial for the rest of the hours that I'm awake. But technically, for me, sip and puff wise, I think it's going to become permanent around 0.7 because there's no way. I won't be able to use it after 6 p.m.
There's a hair on the phone.
And hardly, in the day. So technically I only have I would say only a few more months of actually using my joystick, and then I'm gonna have to use a permanent sip and puff around 0.7, 0.8 maximum. I think the latest I can really push it is 0.6.
Latest.
So I think around 0.8. So that would be June. I'm 1.
So September,
October maximum. I have.
So this year.
Yeah, this year I'm using a permanent sip and puff, which is wild.
Really
it'll hardly be 3 years after my onset. So, yep, that's my progression.
Yes,
okay.
It works.
And then the next topic is our sudden weight loss.
Okay, so this is
quickly.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about and giving hints about earlier. During my asthma appointment, I stepped on the scale. I got lifted, kind of got weighed and everything. And I weigh 105 pounds. I haven't weighed that kind of weight in 4 years.
Never.
Because before this, I was always 106, 107, and all the way up to 112, my heaviest weight ever in my entire life. And to drop 6 pounds, and the more scary part is when I weighed myself in July, I was 111.11 pounds. I was almost 112 and I went down to 105. July. So in 7 months, I dropped 6 pounds.
Which has never been as normal.
I've never had that kind of weight loss probably since elementary. At least. Minimally.
Jesus.
It's been
minimally.
8. It's been 8 years since I ever had that kind of weight loss. Or 10. It's been multiple years since I ever had that sort of weight loss or weight drop. And I haven't been that counteracting weight since 4 years ago.
I've never been the weight that William is now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be mean, I'm just saying.
I definitely noticed weight loss changes. Not physical body looks wise. I look pretty much the same because even dropping 6 pounds, that's 5 to 6% of me.
Mm-hmm. Each pound we drop is a percent.
Yeah, no, literally, because we're that thin.
At least in my case, if I go to 95, 92, if I only lose 8, I'm mildly anorexic.
So, my BMI before I lost weight was 20.3, my healthiest BMI ever. I was fine in the 20s. I'd lost 6 pounds right when I got there. Since July up to now, I lost 6 to 7 pounds, and now my BMI is 19.3, 20.3, 19. It's very low.
It was way lower. It was like 20 point something.
It was 20.3 versus a 19.3.
It dropped a whole BMI.
I
dropped BMI quick.
Yeah, and now I'm close to underweight. By the time I probably hit 100, which is only 5 more pounds, I hope I'm not still losing weight. If I am, I'm going to get worried. Because that's a percent of me. Every time I lose a chunk of me. Every time I lose a pound. Mm-hmm. No.
Because for me...
I almost lost 1/10 of myself.
For me, and the reason why we say hour is because I've probably had speculations that I've lost some weight. Is because I was 100.1.2 ounces or 0.6 ounces on my last appointment in July, and I haven't got weight because I haven't had any more doctor appointments. I haven't necessarily, but in around January,
she's been to plenty of mine.
Yeah, and in January, my husband weighed me, and we weighed me on a faulty scale. We know it. That scale isn't right.
It's janky.
But he weighed me out of my chair. Kind of helped stood me up or sat me on it, and it said 95.6.
Which is a weight she hasn't been in 4 years, 2 years, 3 years?
2.
You were 95 2 years ago?
Yeah, junior.
Wouldn't that be like 3 years ago? Because we went to junior...
Would that? No.
No, Mom. 2.5 years ago.
But I was 92 pounds 4 years ago.
You packed on some weight.
And then I was 95 3 or 2 years in.
Okay.
And 2 years ago I was that weight. But when I stepped on it, I got worried because it said a 6-pound drop for me. And when I go when I go to 92 or 93,
you're anorexic.
That's an 8-pound drop, and I'm anorexic.
Oh.
I'm very skinny.
Very.
BMI wise, I don't say that I'm anorexic. I don't try to purge. I don't try to do anything.
No.
I don't have an eating disorder.
We don't have those tendencies.
No.
We eat.
But personally, when Matthew sat me on the scale, 95 can't be right. He tried 3 times in a row, and it said the same weight
every time.
Did
you weigh yourself in the morning after using the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay. I need to check my weight. I mean, I don't know if they recently done something to that fucking scale. No, I have not stepped on a scale since February 9th. I don't want to.
Yeah, because that scale, personally for me, we've always known that. It's been always a finicky scale. It's our mom's old scale. Basically, she got probably it for the family or her or whatever. A scale for the family. Just a scale
in general.
And we basically, it's been a finicky scale. We know that. But in the past, it said our accurate weight. It said, you're 98. Oh, well, for fuck's sake, I go to an endocrinologist. You're 98.
95.
It's not far off.
It shouldn't be.
And
if I weigh, I know I got weight February 9th.
And weighing me, I actually ate. No offense.
I did eat.
I ate, and I drank some water, so I was a little bit heavier. And when he put me on that scale, he sat me on it, or laid me slightly on it, and it said 95.6.
Huh?
That's also a 6-pound drop.
Like me.
What the fuck?
Why are we dropping almost half a stone?
And I fluctuate between weight. I go to 100 to 98. 100 to 98.
110, 112, 19.
I go.
That's normal.
I fluctuate often, and that's normal.
Normal for us.
I'm never scared when I see 98. Oh my god, no, I just fluctuated. That's normal. For me, that would...
I shat and I lost a pound.
That would almost be like a, 10-pound drop for William?
Yeah. It'll be more. 100 is 11-pound drop. Doc.
It's like 13.
I'm almost drop a stone.
I dropped 2 pounds.
To get to your weight.
Oh, no.
God.
I'm not
making even then, fun. I'm like, ow, my ass hurts. At 105. Because I've been having...
That's 98.
The only ways that I notice some of the weight loss, I don't look physically different. My stomach doesn't look any flatter. No more bones.
I don't notice a drop.
No more bones are popping out more than usual. It's only 6 pounds. But... to us, who we've always been really low weight, really low.
Really fucking low.
Yeah, we're bony. We're so skinny that
each pound
drops
us a percent. So basically,
10 pounds is 1/10 of us.
Yeah, what I'm saying is technically, when Matthew put me on that scale, I saw a 95.6. And back in July, I was 101.6. That would be a 6 to 5 pound drop.
Yep.
Technically, I'm now 100.6 because I weighed myself in September and I was 100 pounds. Okay.
You lost a pound.
What the fuck? How have I lost 5 pounds since September?
Well, we've been getting infections.
That is 5 months, and I've lost a pound per month.
We didn't know when my weight loss started.
No,
I could have been 111 forever.
No, I actually weighed that in October. I'm sorry. In October,
Boy, what the hell?
I weighed myself, and it said 100.6 on that scale. I weighed myself 3 times like I did, and it said the same weight.
Huh?
Wait.
We best weigh ourselves like soon.
Wait, what? So, the next time my husband and I, we weighed this January, actually. This wasn't this month. We never weighed ourselves this month.
We
weighed ourselves
January.
last month. It's October, November, December, January. 3 months? And I lose 5 pounds? And I fainted? Am I okay?
You got bronchitis,
I got
flu.
severe bronchitis and moderate flu and a cold. I have never
been that sick.
I have never ever gotten that sick in my life. Besides pneumonia, but that's
But that was years ago.
That's when I was intubated.
When you were preemie too.
Every December, I've gone without a sickness. And suddenly, the months that I've speculated that I've lost weight, you got a severe what? I've been catching sicknesses like left and right. I have never done that in my life. I do not have asthma.
And plus...
Honey, I do not have asthma. So I sat there as I looked at that scale and it said 95.6. And I weighed it 3 fucking times and it said the same weight.
But,
wait a minute.
We just go by doctor's scales because they've always been accurate.
I ate and I drank. I drank a few water. I haven't ate today yet.
Me neither.
So I just sat there and he weighed me at 95.6. Whoa. I haven't been that weight in 2 years.
Hold up. I've been this weight in 4 years.
And I just hit 100.
I essentially lost 4 years of weight gain progress.
Yeah, and I just hit 100 in July. Well, I'm back to 95.
Hold up.
I'm taking my meds.
She's taking her meds regularly, like me.
I'm taking my meds daily. They're supposed to maintain it. With my condition, I'm supposed to gain.
You're gaining weight, but
why am I losing?
Why are
am I
we
going
dropping?
Hyper or what?
I hope not.
No way. No
Your
way.
Your appointment must be coming soon.
I hope. I'm also scared.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
because I think it'll be like a whole, like it'll be like what, May, June, what?
Something.
When's your endocrinologist appointment?
I don't know.
Okay.
It usually happens yearly.
Oh, so it's coming up soon.
July.
How?
If it's scheduled right. I had one in June, but they were worried about my results, so I had to come back in July.
You had to come back a month later.
Yeah.
Like me. Yeah.
So basically, it's kind of
of
scary. It's kind of scary to think about. We've hopefully didn't both lose 6 pounds. We're hoping.
Hoping.
But if I see myself
the
98...
reason why did I drop?
No, honey, when I see 98 or 99, I don't get petrified. That's like a 2-pound drop for me.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I think.
But
Six.
when I see 4 pounds below 99, that's weird. I can't drop that much.
That's suspicious.
I can't fluctuate that much.
No, we've never fluctuated like that.
And I didn't eat for 2 days, hardly
Damn.
anything.
My appetite was okay.
Because I had no appetite. And I just fainted.
She fainted on the bathroom.
I faint in January, and I weigh myself in 95.
Oh.
Sorry, I faint literally right before the crack ice of dawn of January. It's like December 31st I fainted.
At like 10 p.m. now.
And then January I weigh myself 95. What in the world? I just see that weight. That ain't
that's not normal. It hasn't been in years.
And when I was that weight, I was unhealthy.
Yeah.
My thyroid levels were fucked. Necessary. But I don't think they're messed up. It's because I've just had a lot of flu.
She hasn't been having much symptoms that her condition's getting worse.
And we checked myself in July and I was okay. They never worried about it and we never had a follow-up.
That wasn't even a year ago. They're, oh yeah, your results came back really good. Yeah. Everything's positive, everything good. Wait a minute. So we're hoping that both of us didn't, I mean, we already know me. My primary care doctor was like, you're getting skinny.
But we hope.
Because our dad.
But we hope that at least one of us is safe. Hopefully.
But my doctor was saying, "Oh my gosh, you're getting so skinny." Like, you got skinny. You lost 6 pounds. And I was like, "Oh, really? Were you 111?"
You were 111. Yes, I was.
I was like, "Yes, I
and
was."
She actually said it. You lost 6 pounds.
Oh,
because she saw the growth.
She saw the growth. The line.
What if it dipped. Imbalanced? There's no way.
Ain't no.
How can it imbalance cost 6 pounds?
Yeah. Oh yeah, imbalance. My footing was wrong. No, I was on the scale, laying on it, and why the hell did I lose 6 pounds? I didn't shift.
I can't shift.
Yeah, maybe you balance. No.
And even if I did, why is it saying 6
Why
pounds?
is it 6 pounds up?
I would understand.
It would say a pound.
I would understand that maybe
an
imbalance might drop at a pound or a few ounces, not 6.
6 pounds ain't. 6 pounds ain't even explainable at that point.
The doctor noticed.
The doctor immediately noticed.
Yeah. So that is the sudden weight loss that we feel that we've had. I don't necessarily know if I've lost weight. I'm hoping I didn't. But we know definitively that William did. I don't know me.
We know.
I will weigh myself after we film this. I will. I'm going to see.
You have water. Maybe pee it out first.
I'll do
into your bag or something.
I'll do a cath into my bag and then we'll be all good. We'll be ready to roll.
I'll check my weight, see if it's accurate.
If it is.
If it's close, if I was like, 106, oh, hell no.
No, if it's accurate, I might be terrified.
Because I'll just use the restroom and everything, stuff like that. Do all that fun stuff, and then probably weigh myself and be like, wait. If it's, I shouldn't have gained much, but it should level out around my weight.
William, if you step on it and it's accurate.
Oh, God.
I think I would get terrified.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like mine, I only have 3 more pounds to go before I could become anorexic. Nope.
No.
Keep losing this weight.
Damn.
Can't keep.
That means you're already on the weight? Damn.
Yes. If I lost any, I have to stay at my weight to not go under.
Damn.
And then I'm 18.9.
What's your BMI now?
18.9.
Now?
Or 19.1.
At what weight?
100.
Hi.
I'm not far off.
Boy, you creepy.
And I get it, BMI.
You better see 100 on that scale.
I hope.
I'm gonna weigh myself first, do the routine and everything.
And if you the same way.
Because we know my weight. I just got weighed.
You know your weight.
I literally just got weighed
my old
2 weeks ago.
And I know that I fluctuate from 101 to 100 super easily. Like, take a poop. Gone.
Yeah, 1 pound farted.
But for me, I know I fluctuate between that. So it isn't scary when I see 100 on the scale. It isn't.
No.
Or even 99.
Not scary when I see 109.
If I start going below 98. Even if I'm 98.
Our fluctuations don't go that far.
And I go 98. Well, I feel a little iffy about this.
Okay.
That's a little unopportune weight loss that I'm not naturally fluctuating.
We're not trying to lose this weight.
No,
we are literally eating. We're eating meals.
We eat hell snacks. There's
no hell of a snacks. The snacks are demolished and gone. How are we losing weight? We just have to
drink protein things.
We just have to figure this out.
Gotta figure it out.
Pray to God we don't lose more weight. Because if I step on that scale and I'm even lower, I know my weight. I just got weighed not even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no.
Ain't no way in hell I'm going to step on that scale, lose weight. No.
If I see lower than 95, what would I do?
I don't know. You better eat up them. You better rate every snack we have in the house right now. Ramen that doesn't do shit.
That's the only thing.
Eat that chicken and dumpling we had yesterday that you didn't finish.
No. Yeah, that's our weight loss. That's what we feel like we've lost. And we know definitively one lost it, but we don't know me.
Yep.
That's fun.
Almost lost half a stone. What the fuck? That's not normal.
Then medication delays.
So, pretty much for my asthma appointment, I got prescribed.
We gotta hurry this up.
Yeah, I know. God damn, we're slow. We got prescribed... We got prescribed steroids for a whole month before March 16th to see how our symptoms improve and everything, and they ordered it over to, our pharmacy and insurance, and unfortunately the medication was $300 for a 2-month supply, because the whole medication is 2 months of supply.
Mine's
but
for 3 months.
I need to be using it for at least a month before the March 16th appointment, so that's what we've been trying to do. And on February 9th, I was like, great, we have 5 weeks till this appointment. I got it. Insurance can cover it. Insurance was fully denying it. It was $300, but thankfully, finally, 8 days later after the appointment, insurance finally covered it, which was a couple days ago, and it was only $15, thank God. They covered most of it. This was I was scared for a minute, like, oh my gosh, this was a 30-day supply. No, actually, for my dosage, it's a 2-month supply, so I get 2 months, and it's only $15, and I'm hoping insurance still covers it, because I don't know if I'm going to be staying on this medication or switching over to different ones in March.
It's just a process of trial and
Just a process of trial and error in general. And so pretty much insurance is fully denying it, but we got the medication, we got my spacer and everything. The medication's working fine. I did have some troubles with it on the first night and morning. I was scared that I wasn't inhaling deep enough to take the proper puffs and accusations.
Yeah, but a few days in, he's been getting really comfortable.
Really comfortable. I hear the click, I feel the puff. It doesn't really taste much. I have like a mild sore throat sometimes, and that's pretty much it.
That's a common symptom, don't worry.
Very common symptom. My medication's Quavar. It's a 26-letter long name. If I get it from upstairs real quick, I'll read the name. It's called Beccolome Ethason Dipropionate. That's the name. It's Quavar.
But it's
inhaled medication.
Yeah.
It's different from my risk inhaler because instead of the button at the top to press and click, it's pretty much just I have to inhale and
it's an accutator, a breath accutator.
So I just have to inhale and then the puff releases,
and that
which
activates
I had to get used to that for a while, but it's going well. And I don't really notice any difference in symptoms so far. I still have my daily breathlessness, still have all that fun stuff, talking and everything, so I don't notice much of a difference. But if over the month that I notice there's some improvement or there's lung function that clearly shows some lung improvement, that's good. If that, we can just switch over to different medication or increase this dose. I think Quavar can go up to 80 mcg of steroid inhalation, but mine's 40.
Inhaler is a beige color, but it'll then go to a maroon or something like that.
A red one, which looked pretty cool.
Red one?
Yeah.
I thought it would go to a blue one, a maroon blue.
Oh, Quavar, if the dose is up to 80 mcg, then it would be a red inhaler. But a different steroid inhaler could be blue or a different color that I don't know about.
It said that on the package that if it's 80, it'll go to maroon blue.
Oh, really? I saw red on like videos and stuff. I could be wrong though.
But yeah,
that's my new medication. I got it.
Yay! And then Williams' 2-year injury anniversary.
Pretty much, I hit on February 13th, about a week ago, 2 years of my spinal cord injury anniversary. Pretty much just on the date, 2 years ago, on February 13th of 2024, I got a spinal cord injury from a suicide attempt, and I pretty much jumped.
He jumped
and
from
I hit my neck on the concrete. My body bent over my neck, and I laid flat on my back, and I felt the instant pop, the pain. I blacked out immediately, got in the ambulance, got intubated out in the hospital, and I was wearing neck braces and my neck was stabilized and stuff like that. And this injury has been a whirlwind of medical issues, complications, but it's also taught me patience, and it's taught me that I'm stronger than I may look or may think I really am.
Really?
But it's interesting that I'm now 2 years in. I can't believe I am. I thought I just got injured, and now I'm 2 years in, which is incredible.
My wife's is tomorrow.
Yeah, yay! So, mine hit about almost 10 days ago, or 8 days ago, so the anniversary's going well. We had a fun day that day, and we've been having fun ever since, and I'm happy to celebrate my 3rd year next year of 2027.
And then Williams' lung damage and possibly lung function.
So during my asthma appointment of February, I got very low lung function test scores, couldn't complete the test. Most of the tests were inadequate, and they just said I pretty much have small bronchial lung tube damage, which is in the deeper, lower parts, which takes steroids a while to reach that part instead of the upper airways. So pretty much I have damage there. I don't know if it's permanent or reversible, but the damage is pretty bad to the point I couldn't complete the small test of the breathing out, but we're going by one trying to get steroids and medications so it doesn't get worse while waiting for more proper diagnoses or management. So that's pretty much my lung function and damage. I don't know the full story of it, but that's what I got told on the first appointment.
Yep. Our ventilator broke.
I'm going to go real quickly. February 15th, basically we were chilling, hanging out, playing games, editing and stuff like that, and our ventilator suddenly shut off. It was running very low and turning off automatically. Even on the high setting, it was barely running.
Even on our natural setting that we have, and the setting that provides us, our normal breaths, it was like stopping. It was stopping. Rolling down.
Yes, it was rolling down. It was stopping. It was constantly jerking. It was not good. And thankfully, we bought a backup ventilator that we already had upstairs. So we got that one charged up, hooked up, and replaced the old one with the new one.
It's working phenomenally.
Thankfully, for about almost 5 days now, the new one has been working phenomenally, really good.
Working well.
And it was pretty much, we didn't have a ventilator emergency. That would turn into emergency within 12 hours because our ventilators batteries don't run that long. But thankfully we got the new ventilator hooked up and everything. It's charged, it's running good, it's working just fine, and we're back to normal. But yeah, our ventilator finally shut off after several months of good use. And we need to buy a third ventilator.
We gotta do that
backup before this one dies, maybe in the speculated 7 months. So we still have this year to go run with it until probably summer, and we'll probably have to get a new one. But that was our ventilator. It broke. Our good old venti broke after 7 months of non-stop 24/7 abusing use. We've gone through
3 or 4 now.
3 ventilators, I think. 3 or 4 ventilators. The first one was our pink ventilator. That one broke in April of 2025 after 5 or 4 months of use and malfunctions. And then the other one, it just wasn't sufficient, and that one either broke after barely 2 to 3 months of use. Then in July we got that one. So we went through 3 ventilators in 13 to 14 months of our full ventilator 24/7 use. So that's really bad. But this one the last one lasted 7 months.
So much longer.
So much longer than the other ventilators, so we'll take it. This is our best one we got, so.
Yep. And our son's rare condition, fit M2.
So pretty much on a random day, we were just looking over Ethan's medical supplies and stuff and medical diagnoses, and we were just doing more research about his conditions and stuff like that. And we always thought when we adopted him in October of 2024, we thought he had cerebral palsy, which he still does have. And we just thought he had cerebral palsy, low weight, autism and epilepsy. Still has all that, but we realized he had a rare genetic mutation gene disorder, which was interesting to say the least. It's basically where the fat cells don't absorb.
Or the lipids or something like that.
It makes you have very low body weight, very hard time gaining weight. That's why he's only 26 pounds at 7 years old, very low. He's on tube feeds and everything. We're trying to make him gain weight. And thankfully he's gaining some. He's not gaining a lot because his condition makes it very, very hard to gain weight. He also went deaf at 2 years old, but thankfully he gained some hearing. He can't hear muffled or low voices or low sounds. Like if I were to be tapping the floor, he can't hear that.
No,
but
he can hear someone naturally speak.
If we speak in a little bit higher tone, he can hear us speaking pretty fluently. And he tried cochlear implants, had surgery, and they failed.
I personally have them, but they didn't. Thankfully, they didn't fail for me.
They failed for him, but thankfully he got some hearing back. He can hear voices. He can't hear low muffled sounds. He can't hear when something drops sometimes. But he can hear pretty much everything except just low or muffled voices or sounds. So he can't really hear that, but he can hear pretty much everything. So that condition just affects his strength. That's why he was extremely weak, but he has been gaining head control, core control, and stuff like that. He still has cerebral palsy, so his body is limp sometimes, but his movements can be stiff and uncontrolled sometimes, or spastic. But he's doing pretty good. He's doing fine. He's been doing wonderful in health, and that's good. But he can hear. Just as an adult, though, his childhood is pretty good because he can still maintain some of the movement, but then as he gets older, it regresses, and he loses the function he once had. So we're hoping that doesn't happen too much in his adulthood, because we do not want that to happen to him. But we're still keeping an eye on his condition and everything. But that was just really interesting to find out that he had that, because me, Cindy, and Donnie never knew.
And I actually found out so quick, because we were looking through his medical stuff, and they allowed me to see it. And I was looking through it. Oh, wait, he has fit M2. Wait, what? And I was so confused.
Yeah, it was interesting, Doc, because the master of finding out things very quickly. That's her superpower. But
can find things pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was interesting to figure out, and that was our son's rare condition.
And new steroid medication. We kind of already discussed this. But
it's my new steroid medication. It's my maintenance medication for asthma.
The one that he may be on, but we don't know.
May be on. I have to be on it for a month minimum for March 16th. Either I have to get my dose increased, or I'm switching to a different medication, but highly likely, more than likely, I'll probably have to be on it. And if the medication's working just fine enough, they'll probably keep me on that steroid, because that steroid inhaler that I have has 2 months of supplies instead of 1 month. So I'll be halfway through the inhaler by that point, but that's pretty much my maintenance meds.
And that is all our topics. So thank you all so much for watching thank you all so much for watching podcast episode number 87, and we will see you for episode number 88. Bye.
Bye.